I like it. I like it. It is Wednesday night. Oh man, it's hump day. You made it to Wednesday night. It's 8 p.m. And oh yeah. In the great Pacific Northwest. And what we doing tonight? Man, I got stuff to do. I gotta get her done. I gotta get her done. So I got work that I gotta get going. I got a lot of candles that I need to create because we're gonna be getting our sale on this Saturday, and I probably need to tell you where you can participate with that. Let me put my phone on mute here. Talking to little Miss Layla. She's working on a project for me, so she needed me to answer some questions for her. She's got her little recital at school on Friday, so I'm looking forward to that. Gotta figure out how to get everything in, do it all to do. So we are gonna get in here. I'm a little hot as you can see, uh, trying to get everything together. I'm running out of time. I thought there was gonna be a council meeting. Someone had mentioned that on one of the earlier podcasts, but apparently it looks like it's going to be on um oh, what day is that? On the third. So I don't think I'm going to be able to cover it. What I'll try to do is maybe capture it and record it and then air it after because I won't be at my daughter's event for sure. Let me go ahead and do something real quick here as we get ourselves ready to go for our candle making. Oh man, wait till you see the new candle holders that I got. Hit the horn. You'll get to see me make some of the very first candles using this holder here. So I'm pumped and excited about that. Go ahead and turn on a little bit of fan up in here. It's a little warm, you know what I mean? It's a little warm. And we're gonna go ahead and get our things going on. Let me get all set up. Kind of amazing that it is already June 1st. Again, time is Flying, I would say not in a good way. I'm not prepared for time to be going the way that it is. And that feels a lot better. Thank you for that, Mr. Dent. As always, I had to put on a little shirt to protect my clothing underneath. Yeah, yeah, candles might be fun. Tonight I got a little water. Thought about something else, but yeah, water's fine. Mm-hmm. That's right. Pepsi. All right, so let me pull this up on the screen here so you know where you can come this Saturday and purchase some of these wonderful candles. Uh, for sure here. Let me see. It is June is going to be phenomenally busy for G2 and the conduit. We have so many different things planned. So, super excited about that. Whoa, what is on? There we go. There we go. Man, people will post anything anywhere. Maybe time for a special drink. Well, like I said, I would, but, you know, my water is actually quite refreshing this evening. So I am going to enjoy that. So, where are we going to be this Saturday? And a shout out, we are going to be at the Gathering June 4th at 1 p.m. Join us to sell your art. Our art are our candles. Cooking, hair braiding, hair cutting, painting, sculpting, music, jewelry, etc. 45 free spaces available. Please apply through Linda King on Facebook. So this is going to be at Faith Temple Church, 2418 Trenton Avenue in Bremerton, Washington. That is where we will be. What's awesome is I have attended that church on more than one occasion. When Layla's grandma was attending church, that's where she went. Really awesome congregation, really good message. And so saw this out there. I was like, oh, yeah. We want in on this. So we will be there again this Saturday at Faith Temple Church, right there on Trenton Avenue, 2418. So if you're going down Perry Ave, right there on the corner, you will be able to see that 1 p.m. 1 p.m. So, that will be awesome. You will see me there, but you will see me late because I have a podcast at 1 also. So I can't be in two places at once. But we will be there nonetheless, selling our wares. Now, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. One of the things is, I burn candles a lot, right? This is one that I made the other day, right? In my little Sunday glass, or I don't know, was this like a Pilsner, maybe? I don't know what these things are called, but I'll put, I'll make a candle in almost any kind of container, which is awesome. So that's really nice. But, with that, like this one here, has a little bit of color in it, but not much, right? So when the wax dries, it's kind of like this beige color. Uh, it's a Pilsner. Yeah, thank you for that. But when you're trying to get the dyes and the fragrance and all that, those things definitely cost, and it takes quite a bit of dye to dye the candles. Let me turn my candles on. Let me turn my wax on. All right, so I can wax poetic. All right, but check these out right here. Ooh wee, these are beauts right here. Look at that purple glass right there, right? Oh man, got the nice screw on top, or actually it just kind of slips on there, and that is the best way. You should suffocate your flame, don't blow it out, right? But oh, it's so beautiful. And after you're done burning your candle, you can actually, still use the jar. And maybe, you know what, we may even try to be a little bit even more eco-friendly. And maybe if you give this back to me, kind of like at Starbucks or somewhere else, I will give you a discount on another candle, right? And I will make you another candle in your jar. So I think that might be a really good idea to do. So we're going to be making 12 of these today. We'll make some of our more traditional candles. We'll make some of our small, well, not, these are a little bit larger than tea lights here, but we'll make some of our larger tea lights. I don't even think that's fair to call it a tea light because it's pretty large, right? I mean, if you look at it in comparison, right? I mean, that's quite a bit of wax there. And we have some really specialty candles that I'm gonna make here tonight. Ooh, look at that right there. I don't know. This looks maybe like it could be like a Middle Eastern tea set. I could be absolutely wrong with that, but I think that might be a beautiful candle there. And so, we'll have some kind of designer pieces. We'll have some more contemporary pieces. We'll have some of the ones that you kind of see in the stores all the time, right? So we'll have some of those. I'm going to make quite a bit tonight, and I need that. Sounds like a good promo. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to make quite a bit, get the wicks in, and get everything going. And so I'm gonna be at this for a little bit. And what's great is, I can make the candles today, tomorrow, and then they'll be for sale. Look, so yeah, it is. It's like to me, it reminds me of a Middle Eastern teacup, right? I think. Oh, what is that? Homeland, the show on Showtime. I think when the main character uh, is somewhere in the Middle East. I think I saw people drinking out of tea out of these. I like as I said, don't quote me on that, but that's what it reminds me of. So, kind of thought about keeping those because there were only two, but I'm not much of a what they call it tchotchke, and I don't have room for keeping a whole bunch of random stuff anyway. So I just need to go ahead and let it go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give that ghost up because you know
Ain't nobody got time for that.
exactly. Ain't nobody got time for that. So yeah, we're gonna make some candles. It's June 1st. We are in month 6 of 12. So we are literally here, almost half of the year done. Normally, maybe I'd wait till June 30th to do a middle of the year reflection, but today is as good a time as any because it does give you an opportunity to right your ship if you feel like you have gotten off track over the last few months. And I know that many of us have.
Nope.
Many of us have, unfortunately. So, you may be suffering.
Emotional damage.
So, why don't we get you back on track if that is the case? What was it that you wanted to be working on this year? Many of those on my team created SMART goals and started working on their SMART goals. Some people are doing better with their goals than others. Some people have abandoned their goals. Some people aren't able to face their goals, right? They definitely have some emotional damage from making their own goals, not to mention New Year's resolutions. I can tell you my SMART goal was to be able to edit videos and I have been getting a lot better at that. As you saw our commercial this morning that aired at 9 a.m. For um, our food program, right? So if people want to cater a lunch or a special event, we're here for that. Okay. So that was my work, right? That's my first, kind of my first effort there. So SMART goal on track did take a little bit longer. My T in the SMART goal took a little bit longer. That's the time. But your SMART goal should be specific. That's your S. Measurable. That's your M. Should be attainable, which is your A. Should be relevant or realistic. I like realistic more than relevant, but I think, both things are appropriate. So it should be relevant and realistic. I think many times uh, goals can fail because people make unrealistic goals, right? We want what we want. We're working on something in our lives that we've wanted to fix for a long time in our life. And we feel like we have to make up for lost time. And unfortunately, that behavior tends to have us fizzle out, unfortunately, right? That's happened to me when I've decided to like get back in the gym or work out or do whatever. And it's like, man, I'm gonna go gun ho and I need to be back at the same level that I was at when I stopped, and that's not realistic. Then you hurt yourself and then you're out for a while, and then it's like, oh man, and depending on how long it takes, you may not even you might give it up before you heal. All right, got our wax in there. So you want to definitely be realistic. Another thing we're going to be doing too is I have a lot of wax melters, so we'll have some of these for sale also. Our beautiful roses, and so we'll put some scent into those. We may put some dye into those also. Nice, beautiful roses there, right? Make it really nice. I don't think we'll bother with making any bunnies. Seems kind of weird during this time. But we do have these really beautiful roses. So you can just put it in your wax warmer, let it melt. Pretty awesome. Sometimes what we'll do also is put that on top, which is really beautiful too, where the wick is sticking out. Very decorative until you decide to burn it and melt it, which is awesome. So we're going to be doing it. So I was thinking, man, well, if you have achieved that first SMART goal, what are you going to do next? Obviously, I need to keep working on it. I need to get more proficient at editing videos. I need to get faster. I need to create a schedule on when I'm going to edit videos. What I like to do, I'm just stupid busy. So, with the afternoon show moving from 12 to 1 this week, unfortunately, I only have an hour in between the tipping points and puzzle pieces and the housing podcast. So it doesn't give me a lot of time to sit and say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna edit this video and I'm gonna get the edited video up, or get it on Anchor or Pandora or any of the other platforms. So it just got to figure out when to get all those things done. And then when you're doing all these shows, you also have to carve some time out also. So programming announcement. Oh yeah, I learned that we got a ticker now. Hey, hit the horn. I can't wait to get my new device in. So that should be here before July, knock on wood. But KCR, their executive director, Anthony Ives, will be our guest on The Conduit next Monday, June 8th at 1 p.m. So you're not going to. So tune in for sure. Good programming note for you there. And now I can put things like our copyright disclaimer there on the bottom and just kind of let it play. I might mention it, but I can let it play for a little while. So that's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah. And what's interesting is, with a lot of these programs, things update. And I'm like, I only found the ticker on an accident. So it literally updated last night. And was it last night? What was yesterday? Tuesday. Yes. We had Marsha on yesterday, Marsha Cutter. Shout out to her. And I'm like, man, I need to add a new caption, right? And there was no place for me to add a new caption. I'm like, what is going on with this? This is so frustrating that I can't add a new caption. I guess I must have reached the limit. So now I'm deleting, different captions from old shows because people make reoccurring appearances. And I'm like, all right, I'll delete these captions so that I can start making them. But there wasn't an option for me to add a new one. So I'm like, man, what is going on? Have I, like, did I reach a cap? And now they're like, well, somehow we accidentally let you go over. So now we're going to, let you keep deleting until you get to the actual amount that you should have. So I'm thinking all kinds of things, right? And so I'm doing my show, the housing show, earlier. And I'm like, oh man, I want to let people know that, KCR is on. So I want our audience who's already tuning in to let them know that the executive director is coming on. And then I scroll to the top because I'm looking for some information and I see ad. And I'm like, oh, they put it to the top. Well, that is great. So what they do is, if you could see my screen, I don't think I have a camera that's set for that right now, but oh yeah, you can kind of see it there, right? So you kind of see that my blue cursor there, see how it's going down? So these are all the things that I have already pre-typed in to, push onto the screen, right? So I can, come down here and like say, hey, here's Cameron's kitchen, right? But as you can see, I'm still scrolling. I mean, I have a ton of stuff on here. So when there's a new guest, I've got to go and find this out. And there's no search bar to search quickly for what it is I'm looking for. So I'm deleting them. And to add a new one, it's at the bottom. Well, that's actually not great. So they actually must have listened to feedback from folks and they put it up here at the top, right? And so I'm clicking up here and I'm like, oh, what's this down arrow? And it's like, ticker. Oh man, there's a ticker. Oh, hit the horn. So I was super excited about that. And so now there's a ticker. So that's pretty cool. It's one of the things that for as much as this program cost was very frustrating because OBS is free and it's got a ticker. And it's like, all right, maybe I need to go back to OBS because this is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. But yeah, that's really cool. So I do need to come up with something. Let's go ahead and check back in on our candles here. Looks like it's melting a little bit. You can kind of see that liquid there. Taking a little bit. All right, I put in quite a few cubes in there. This I want to get out of there. This was a piece of plastic. So I try to keep my oil as pure as I can. And I don't know where this piece of plastic came from. It must have been from some of the packaging, but now this oil is so hot. This reminds me of trying to get an eggshell out of my bowl when I crack eggs. Except for the eggs aren't boiling hot like this is. Look at that. Bam. Hit the horn. Got it up out of there. Woo, that's hot. So we're going to go ahead and let that melt. That's almost ready. And then we're going to start making our candles. Like I said, we got a lot to make, so we can start working on the, put my candle over here. I can start working on the wicks and all that other good stuff. Put on our warning labels. Maybe I should put the warning labels on last just in case I get wax on the table on the bottom. I don't want it to be all soggy. But it would be nice to already have it done because that would be a little bit faster. But that's all right. We got these cute boxes here. This will only fit like the little small tea ones. So we'll have to get larger ones for some of the bigger ones. But these here, those will fit into the purple and the pink boxes. So we'll have them like, box sets of 4. Because, who wants to just buy one little candle, right? Well, multiples. That's what I'm talking about. Hit the horn. So yeah, I was thinking, okay, I need to come up with a different SMART goal and start working on that. One thing that I was mentioning to Marcia yesterday is I've never been a big. Can you put them into separate files? No, it won't let you, unfortunately. I wish. I really do wish. That would be so awesome and nice. But no, It does not. However, there is a default brand folder, so I can add a new brand. I don't know how many brands I can add, but I probably, maybe I could do it for some of the main shows and then change the brand names. So that might be a way that I could do it, where I've got, different ones for shows. So that is, how about I change that answer to maybe? That is now a maybe. All right. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start getting our wicks in. And this is always good, right? So while you're letting your wax melt, you want to be efficient with your time. I don't have any fingernails, so it's hard for me to peel that off. I'm going to go ahead and stick my wick on there. Make sure it's on there really good. Get it off my finger. And we want to do the best we can to make sure it's right there in the center. And I'll use this nice pair of scissors here to make sure it's stuck in place. You know that candle wax is nice and hot. You do not want your wick to move around when you're pouring your wax in there, right? Because you want the wick to be straight up and down when you're burning the entire time. So that's why we put this on here, our little popsicle sticks, right? So that when we pour, our wick, as you can see, is just straight up and down. And so when it burns, you want it to burn to your edges. All right, who's hitting me up here on Facebook? I might have to cut this off because they shouldn't be bothering me when I'm trying to make some candles. I need to get you a set of tools. What kind of tools? Some candle tools? What do you think about this particular candle, Stephanie? Isn't that a nice one right there? I love that purple right there. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Drop a few of those out. Man, Facebook is going crazy tonight. Yeah, you know what? And they were, they weren't too badly priced either. So I got a set of 12 of those. And like I said, then I don't have to worry about the dye, because of course we are purple now, right? So that saves, still got to get the container. So to not have to get a container and dye and scent if they're, scented, which I'm not going to put scent in a lot of them because a lot of folks are very sensitive to the scents, the odors. So I don't want folks to feel like they can't burn their candles. They can't buy a candle because, it'll whip up their allergies or just irritate their sinuses or whatever the case may be. So I'll have a few that have scents in them, but I'll definitely make sure that I, make a distinction there. So again, definitely want to make good use of your time there. Go ahead, get your wicks in. And like I said, because I can be messy, I am not going to put my labels on. Otherwise, normally I would put my labels on now. I would not wait because that would be a step already done that I wouldn't have to do later. But because of me being messy, I think I just better wait until my wax sets a little bit and then I can put the labels on later. Yeah, look at those. Just beautiful. Love them, love them, love them. Right? Now this one is a little bit low. Let me use my longer wicks here. And although, this wick is actually, when I burn many at once, I use all scentless, and the one scented is not so. Yeah. I think that's a really good idea. I do think that's a good idea. This one might be long enough. I wouldn't even need to cut it. Let's see. Well, you know what? I'm gonna use the longer ones on this. I really want the purple ones to come out well. I think I can use the shorter one just because I need to cut it to about that length anyway. But I want these purple ones to really be just good craftsmanship. So I'm gonna take my time. Come on, baby. You can do it. Take your time. Do it right. You can do it, baby. What I love about making your own is that you can make purple with any scent. Yeah, that is actually true. So I can make it fruity, I can make it flowery, I can make it um I guess more masculine, like sandalwood, or you know, use essential oils. You really can do what you want to do, which is pretty awesome. Let's see how our wax is working out right here. Ooh, look at that. Roll that beautiful beam footage. All right. Well, we want to make sure our temperature is there, right? Let's go ahead and give it a little test there. We're already at 149, 154 degrees, 163, 167, 170. All right. Woo, that's pretty hot. All right. So we is ready. We're going to turn that down a bit, right? Whoops. Let's go ahead and turn that to about, maybe right there. We don't want it too hot. The other day I had my wax was a little hotter than I would have liked. And the bad thing about that is it takes a lot longer for your wax to cool down so you can do what you need to do with it, right? Because you need to let it cool to a certain temperature before you add your color in, and your color is always going to go in first. And then after that, you need to put your where did my scissors go? You need to put your scent in if you're going to use it, and that has to cool down another 20 degrees. And so if it's super hot, you're going to be sitting here for a while waiting for that to cool down. So, I would say for me, like 180 degrees, not bad, right? I wouldn't heat it right to 145, which is the temperature for the color, give or take a few degrees up or down, uh, just because you don't want it to cool off too fast. I'm not a I'm not in a rush, as you see. This is supposed to be therapeutic, so I don't want to be like, oh my God, we got to pour it now. Go, go, go! Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper! So I don't want to operate under those conditions. So it's better for me to warm it up a little bit warmer, so I can pour it and take my time and not stress. That is what I'm going to do. But yeah, I wonder what do you think my SMART goals should be for the rest of this year? I do my best to get out to walk outside, and I gotta say, I've never really been a big fan of walking outside, and I've never really appreciated the Pacific Northwest the way that other people tend to do when they come from out of town. New people here are just like, oh, I just love, the Pacific Northwest, your mountains and your water and your trees and this, that, and the other. And it's like the allergies and the rain and like been there, did that, seen these mountains since, I was 9 years old. No biggie. But I think that's kind of how it is for most people. But it has actually given me a new appreciation of being out in the elements. It really has. Uh, it feels good to get out in the air after being kind of cooped up, through COVID. Plus, well, what I do kind of requires me to sit behind the desk most times, either in meetings or doing podcasts or doing some type of work on a computer. So it is nice to get out and walk around. It's definitely a little bit harder on your joints for sure. Um, to that end, looks like I was just approved to have my next back surgery. So I actually need to call and schedule my appointment. I got so busy today, they called me earlier and said, "Yep, you've been approved. Go ahead and call the office to schedule your surgery." And I just didn't get to it because when I got the call, it was so interesting. They called, it was automated, and they called at lunchtime. Well, they're always closed from 12 to 1. It's like, well, I can't call now, but it would be perfect if I could have. And of course, by the time they were back from lunch, well, I'm enthralled into whatever I'm doing. And then by the time I get another break, well, they're closed. So I will try again tomorrow. And I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that I can get it done before Juneteenth and Father's Day, which uh, those 3 days, I'm going to be so tired after that. The Friday is a film festival, and then that Saturday is Juneteenth, of course, at Evergreen Park, which we will be covering both the film festival and Juneteenth. And then Sunday, of course, is Father's Day. So that's a lot of events back to back to back to back. And so the question is either I get it done a few days before, well, I'd say a week before, because it takes quite a few days before you start feeling halfway decent. Um, or, I do it after. And the only bad thing about doing it after is, well, the bad thing totally is that I need to have it done so soon. I actually just had this procedure done 6 months ago. And so this is actually the fastest that I've had to repeat uh, this procedure. And let me tell you, it does not feel good. I do get sedated, but I cannot go to sleep. I have to be awake for it. You have to lay very still. And they, put these needles in your spine. Always fun. And, of course, they give you the medicine, right? You get an IV, you get sedated, and they put these needles in your spine. And they do I think, L4, 5, and 6 on both sides. And then after they put I guess, lidocaine in your spine, then they go in with this laser and they literally destroy your nerves. And it's a procedure called radio frequency ablation. And so they are destroying your nerves, and it feels like you are on fire. And it's not like they burn your nerves away in 2 seconds. It actually takes a little bit of time. So uh, you're just watching it, and the surgeon and all the people helping are just having a conversation, and it's like, be still, you're doing great, and you're squeezing their hands or whatever, and it's like, it doesn't feel like I'm doing great. I'm dying, buddy. All right, just a little longer, about 20 more seconds. And then after that, or actually, I think while they're doing it, I can't remember. I've had this thing done so many times, it's ridiculous. Apparently, I'm like Wolverine. I've got a healing factor, so these things grow back. Hey, what you doing, BK? Um, and so then they've got to put some kind of electrode in there and test to see if your nerve is still functioning. Because again, they don't want to paralyze you. So then you got to go through that. So they're doing something that kind of stimulates your nerve, and it's like, oh God, man, this is horrible. And on top of it, it's not like it is going to take all of your pain away, and all of a sudden you're going to be able to, do all this stuff and start dunking basketballs again. But it does provide a level of pain relief, and so, I'm definitely, unfortunately, looking forward to having surgery again. I'm just a little disheartened that I need it so quickly. But I'm blessed and highly favored, so it does not stop me. Don't stop, won't stop, can't stop. You just keep on keeping on. You know what I mean? That's what we got to do. So Yeah, BK, we're gonna be selling candles this Saturday at Faith Temple Church. We're super excited about that. So I'm making these candles, and oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, if you let me switch cameras here. Bam! Look at those beautiful purple candles right there. Ooh. So, oh shoot, I was referred to have a nerve conduction study on my hand. Oh man, yeah. What you think of those? Nerve conduction. What is that? I never heard of that. That's a new one. What is nerve conduction? That's definitely one that I haven't heard of before. So many different procedures, that they have going on right now. It's like whatever we got to do to try to feel better, hopefully. And hopefully it doesn't do more damage than good. Because some of these things don't feel too great. We just haven't gotten that far in technology yet where we can say, hey, you know what? We're good. That doesn't work. You can see my face. Get your parents and say, look at me when I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Look at me when I'm talking to you. Let's see if that works better. Look at me when I'm talking to you. All y'all can see is the candles. All right, let's see if that works a little bit better. Is that better? Oh, yeah, that might be a little bit better, right? You can't see the candles though, right? Oh, man. Man, I guess I need to do it side by side so you can see it all. That's a good purple. Yeah. These were, in my research, I came across these beautiful candles, and I love it. And then I was thinking about doing a nerve conduction study is a medical diagnostic test commonly used to evaluate the function, especially the ability of electric conduction of the motor and sensory nerves of the human body. Did you copy and paste that? That seems very formal there, Bonnie. That does not seem to be in your own words. Like, okay. So it's not it's just a study, so you're not gonna get any relief from it, huh? I hate that. I know sometimes that's what you gotta do to, get what you need done, but it's like, can you just already make me feel better? Like, I don't want to study. Just fix me. Can't be the first person with this issue. Give me the magic placebo. I need the panacea. I need more mana. I'm so uh, blessed this time around. So apparently, if you go a year without having this surgery done, which I normally go about a year and a half, you have to go through steroid injections and you have to get like a certain percentage of relief before they will allow you to is to rule out carpal tunnel. Okay. Of course you did. I'm just saying this sounded really really technical and formal. Like, all right, well, that's a hell of an explanation. But yeah, to get this procedure done, normally what you have to do is you have to go into the doctor. They do one side of your spine at a time. You get a steroid injection. They do it right in the office. And then, you got to use this pain chart. And then if you get a certain percentage of relief, then they will schedule you for the surgery. So then it ends up taking like a month and a half from after you get approved and they can actually get you in before you actually get the surgery done. But since it's within 6 months, I get to just go in and have the surgery done. So, kind of a good news, bad news thing, right? Good news that I can skip that step. Bad news that I need it done already. That said, that has not stopped me from getting my walk on. So, very excited about pushing through in that. I just gotta always still be careful that I don't push myself too hard and create, an issue for myself. All right, I think I've got enough room here. I got 6 candles. Got quite a few. I can go ahead and start making some candles. I say after Father's Day. You know what? I think you're probably right. I should just go ahead and wait till after Father's Day. Uh, you know, no one ever said I wasn't a masochist, so you know, I could just have it done. And I'm the type of dude that I'd have it done the Thursday before the film festival that Friday, because sometimes we like being a jackass and just putting ourselves through pain, right? That's how we get the great stories. Do you know what I went through? I was able to do this, that, and the other, and I didn't stop. And it's like, yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right. So, like I said, what's nice is I don't need to put any color into the purple candles. And I'm not going to put any scent into these for those that may have sensitivities. And, I forget see how I just poured all that on the floor? That's why I need to be, careful. I forget that, so many people have sensitivities. I wear cologne, I burn my candles, I use scented sprays. I just love smells. But everybody does not. So, because of that, I get to one. Now, another thing that you need to do is you need to pour slowly because you do not want bubbles in your candle. Okay. There we go. Nice. All right. There we go. And like I said, you want to make sure that your wick is standing straight up there. A bedtime. It's only 8:50. I just don't get it. If I start going to bed at 8:50, I don't even know. I don't even know, Bonnie. I go to bed that early, but you get up really early too. So, if I start getting up at 5 in the morning, I'm not trying to go to bed early, and I ain't trying to get up early. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to do it. Nuh-uh, Pops. I ain't doing it. Kind of like that kid that doesn't want to go to sleep. Oh, you get up at 4:30? Oh yeah, no, ain't gonna be able to do it. Ain't gonna be able to do it. You know what? That sounds to me like
emotional damage.
Just thinking about getting up at 4:30. I need to be going to the bathroom at 4:30 and going back to dreamland. You know what I mean? That's an unacceptable wake up time. What are you doing at 4:30 in the morning? Are you going to the gym? That is crazy. Who else gets up that early? And why would you get up that early? Who's punishing you? We can put a stop to it. You shouldn't have to be subjected to such conditions. I can't work under these conditions. There we go. Oh, look how pure that wax is. It's so nice and clean. I love nice, clean wax there. Only quality for you guys. And it's the same thing that I do for myself, right? I'm not going to give anyone something I'm not going to be willing to do for myself. That wouldn't be cool. Whew. I got too much going on. I think I need some help. All right. Nice slow pour there. Nice slow pour. Pour, pour, pour. Mix, mix, mix. Stir, stir, stir. For any of you Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fans, know what I'm talking about. If you went to bed at that time, you better up at 2. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I tend to wake up early like that anyway, but not because it's on purpose. Please understand that. We are not getting down like that. That's against the law. It's against the rules. I mean, the humanity of it, man. Please. Oh, my goodness. All right, I need some more wax to put in there. Let me go ahead and get that going. All right, well, have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. You know what? Why would a parent ever say to a kid, don't let the bed bugs bite? I didn't find out what bed bugs were till I was an adult. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how horrible bed bugs are? Why would you put that on a kid? That's not cute. Bed bugs ain't cute. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Man, horror stories, boy. We just traumatize our kids. How about emotional damage? How about kids say the darndest things? Parents say the darndest things. Why would you put that on your kids? That's what Layla would say. All right. Go ahead and crack some of that. Might be able to get 6 bars in there. 3. And 6. There we go. I probably should put those in because we torture our children. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, yeah, seriously. I've seen pictures of bed bugs. I've worked with folks that have experienced bed bugs. But yeah, that's whoa. I don't think I probably said that to Layla when she was a kid, but nah, I wouldn't be putting that on nobody. Bed bugs ain't nothing to joke around with, you know what I mean? So we're already at 155 degrees, like I said. We're now approaching 160. So if I wanted to put color in here, I could. Looks like we're slowing down at about 166, 167. But like I said, I'm not going to do that. Just going to leave them as they are, which is cool. And these are pretty hot to the touch. Might be smart for me to get something to hold these with so that I don't spill them. You know, I've got some very sensitive hands. And you know what? I always have, so something that's super weird, at least I think it's weird, is when I was in my construction days, I had some nice calloused hands, nothing really affected them, quite resilient hands. But you know what? They were always sensitive to heat. And I've watched people take hot pans out of the oven without pot holders. And it's like, what the heck are you doing right now? I mean, it's like, it's just craziness, right? I've never seen such a thing. Like, that's like, wow. But they do it. Like, all right, well, something wrong with you. But okay. That's a new one on me. Let's go ahead and pour slow there. There we go. And as you can see, that sets up pretty quick. Now, the one short-sightedness that I might have had is I'm making so many candles, and I don't have. Go in the other room here. I don't have enough popsicle sticks, so I need to go and steal some from Layla's craft bin because I know she got some. I knew I could count on my daughter. She got the can. She got the popsicle sticks. So Layla loves her crafts. So I got to keep it stocked to keep her little active mind going. Now these are a little bit bigger, but what you can do is you can just put them side by side if you don't have a hole in them, right? So it still works just the same, which is fantastic. Now look at me. I'm going to try to be quick, although it's hot, right? Woo, I did it. Oh, snap. Little things mean a lot. Appreciate what you got. Oh, yeah, that's hot. That's hot. That's hot right there. Uh-huh. All right. Whoops. And so you can see here, see how the wick is bending over there? So you want to make sure that that wick is straight so that when the wax cools, it's going to, now that one, I just poured that one. So that one's hot. We might let him sit there for a little bit, let it cool down. And you know what? I might have enough to get me some more of this. I don't need too much. I just need just a little to fill you up. Give me a little slow pour though. I got a slow pour for you. Fill it to the line. That's what we do. Mm-hmm. Where did I put my tongue depressors? Oh, over here. All righty then. We're off to a good start. We already have 4 of our 12 purple candles done. We have 2 of our, maybe I'll call them jumbo, what do I call these things? Tea whatevers. Got 2 of those done. I will wait because I need the metal pieces from that. Let me see if I can steal them off of some candles that I worked on last week. Oh yeah, I can absolutely do that. I said, this is actually quite a bit of fun, and it is super relaxing. And one of the things that it does do for me is it makes me slow down, which I will usually tell people, I ain't got time for that. I got too much to do. I got no time to slow down. So it does make me slow down. I must admit it. Now these metal ones here kind of have this indentation here, and so they sit into the vessel there, and then I can kind of pull the wick onto the little placeholder there, and that's going to keep it locked. Although you should still pour slow, it's definitely going to keep it straight, right? Like, look, Ma, no hands. That's going to stay straight. And then when we trim our wick, I'll probably fill it right to the top of the, switch my camera there. I'll go ahead and fill it right to about the top of the decoration. There at the top, you do want to leave some room for your candle to pool as the wax melts. That's important. So we'll go ahead and do that. No problem, no problem. I'll probably pour these 2 here. Another thing that I like about doing these 2 is, obviously you have to buy more wax. You have to buy more wicks, more stickers, things like that. There are quite a few things that you do not need to buy more of. And so that is pretty cool and helpful, right? Now I wonder if I could do it like this and then set it down. So I still need room to pour, and these tongue depressors are a little big. How's my wax there? You guys want to tell me if it's melted already? No, not quite. We need a little bit of time. So we will wait. And you can see we got a little bit of wax in there, but not much. So we'll let that just kind of sit and do its thing. All right. So, like I said, for those of you that are just joining us, we are going to be at Faith Temple this Saturday at 1 p.m. G2/the Conduit will have a booth there, and we will have things for sale. And I actually feel like we probably will have more than just candles. So, y'all might want to stop by, but look at all the other stuff that's going on, right? Cooking, food. You had me at food. Hair braiding? Well, okay. Cutting, painting, sculpting, music. Yeah. Jewelry. I'm there for all of that. So, again, 1 p.m. at Faith Temple Church, 2418 Trenton Avenue. A lot of good folks at that church, so definitely shout out to them. Every time that I've gone to that church, I've always felt very welcome. And one of the things, just to give them another shout out, that I've always enjoyed about their church is they have all types of folks there, right? So it's not just, maybe predominantly black, but not by much. There's a lot of white people there, a lot of Hispanics there. They just got a little bit of everything there. So kind of think of, well, if you think about heaven, if you believe in that, what would heaven look like, right? Would it just be all black people or all white people? Is there a white heaven? Is there a black heaven? Like, no, it would just be all the good people together. So that's what Faith Temple makes me think of. Probably more so than any of the other churches kind of in the area. So yeah, shout out to them for that. I really like that. That resonates with me. That resonates with me. I gotta say, I'm hungry, and what I'm in the mood for is a nice salad, and I don't have anything to make a salad with tonight. So sad. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something because I am getting hungry. We're going to make these. Now, do you think that I should make these scented? Because these kind of go in the wax melters, right? I mean, the whole point of those is to have a scent. I mean, they look pretty, but, you're not going to put a wick in them. So they probably do need to have a scent. So I'm going to make a bunch of these here. That smells fantastic. Couldn't tell you what it is because I don't have it labeled. So I don't know what that smell is. Plus, everything doesn't smell the way that I think it's supposed to smell anyway, for sure. What's going on? I got man, it is a busy night, man. It is a busy night. I'm going to have to get in there and read that. The Conduit Podcast Planning. Let's see. Public health about board expansion. Oh, okay. Cannabis Task Force comments, Mayor Noble, the Kingston Wire. Great headlines in Kingston. Congratulations on Noble Foundation support. All right, I'm going to have to check that out for sure and see what's going on with that. All right, lots of good stuff going on. Man, I can't announce it right now. It's a little too premature. But I think something awesome is going to be coming in the second week of July. So the week after the 4th of July. Stay tuned for a potential explosive announcement. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be fantastic. What else did I want to share with you? Oh, let me check my wax. No, still need to. Now I might turn it up a bit, right? Because it should be melting pretty good there. Let's see. Let me go back down here. We can always use your help. So if you want to give us a hand, to reach out to us, gather together, grow together, 360-373-3000. Or you can email gather2grow@g2.org. And so we have a full slate I can tell you that the library is having their big summer program kicks off today. I was supposed to try to get Priya on, and I got a little busy, but do know she will be on next Tuesday to let us know all about all the great things that are happening at the library. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. Oh, I'm seeing Jocelyn. Oh, I think there's something else going on this weekend. Let me see if I can bump into that here pretty quick here. There was something else that I wanted to share. I really can't wait to get our calendar going so that we can keep all of the stuff that's going on in the community in one spot. And it's so unfortunate that many times, I find out about things after they've happened or after I'm committed. I could have altered my schedule so that I could come and participate, uh, but I end up missing it. So just unfortunate. Let's see if I can find it here. I want to be careful what I put up on the screen, but uh, Tones Fitness come out this Sunday with Tina Lawrence, Muscle and Heels dance class, adults only hip hop dance class for beginners, $10 admission, Sunday, March 13 at 4. Okay. So that was something that was up. I don't know if that's coming back up. I'm just kind of scrolling down to find what I was looking for. Oh, sounds like someone needs to come in here and do some maintenance on this site here. All right. Is this the Paulsbo Farmers Market here? I pull that up. Taste something here. It doesn't tell me exactly what it is, but look at that. Look at that sausage. I think that's sausage. So, that's been slow roasting, red beans and rice gumbo. Ooh. Yeah. That's it right there. Look at that right there. Looky here, looky here. All right. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm still looking for something else. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, I thought I should be advertising this, but these are two of my favorite artists, Maxwell and Joe. September 21 at Columbia Bank Concert Series at the Washington State Fair. Yeah, I would be for that. Definitely two of my favorite artists there. That's a pretty good ticket. I don't know why people aren't deleting this stuff off of here. Where is it? Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, you know what? Let me get creative. Here we go. This should pull it up. Bam. This Saturday, right? Got multiple things going on. I hope to get over there. Doc Loves the Kids, Boom House, Briskets and Brews fundraising event Saturday, June 4th. Live music, $25 donation, 4 p.m., 21 and up. So if you can make it there, that's going to be on 1748 Northeast Rydell Road. So that is right next to Fred Meyer's. They're right off Wheaton Way. So brisket sounds quite delicious. Man, you got a full Saturday for sure. No reason not to say, hey, there's nothing to do in Bremerton. Okay. So go buy some art, get some food there. As soon as your food settles, drive, and this isn't even far either. Drive like a mile and a half away and go get some brisket and some brews. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I knew there was something else that I wanted to show you. So, one of the things that the conduit is striving to do is making a calendar so that all of these events are in one place. That's really important for me. And we do want to be able to support the efforts that people have in the community. So we're going to take that on and see if we can't really build. So what you'll see, and the Rev doesn't want me to show this yet because he's still working on it. But again, you will be able to find all of this information on our website. Okay. That is theconduitnetwork.org. That's who we are. We are the network because we have plenty of shows on there, right? And so you'll be able to see information, what we offer, and in the community. So we are building this out. So all of these resources will be here for you with clickable links so you can go straight to it. And you know what they do. And then we are going to have a calendar on here so that you can go ahead and see what's going on. So kind of a one-stop shop. So you can check in with the conduit and see what's happening in Kitsap County. Okay. So stay tuned. It is coming. All right. It is coming. But it is up. Our store will also be up here soon. So definitely stay tuned for that also. And then, of course, G2, you can go to our website. And if you want to book a ride, you can do that. Soon you will see you'll be able to order our food off of the website here shortly and donate. And we will also have those same clickable links also from G2. So we are trying to pull it together and help to elevate and expose these organizations, businesses, and individuals that are doing the work here and give them some shine. And we're not even asking for anything to do that. We're just trying to uh, solve an issue, right? That's the whole thing about business. Business is about seeing a void and filling that void. Okay. All right. I think we are ready for the next batch. And if you look, take a look. See how clear that got already? See how that's cooled off? Nice, kind of beautiful. What color would I call that? An off white. Now that it's somewhat, you know, firm, I can go ahead and move those to the side. Woo, that's still pretty warm. Don't get me wrong. It is what it is. All right. Go ahead and do that. Boom. And ultimately, what I'd like to do is probably see if I can't. Oh, look at that. Woo, I'm getting good. I'm getting good. There we go. All right, let me get another one over there. Can I get you too? Oh, this feels like Jenga. All right, go do this at home. There we go. There we go. All right. Go ahead and get our pour on. There. Roll that beautiful beam footage. Yeah. There it goes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm. Go ahead and fill you on up. Yeah, there we go. Now that sounds like a nice cool cup of water, but I promise you, That is approaching boiling. Nice slow pour. We're not in any hurry. We're nice and relaxed. We're cool, calm, and collected. Yeah, roll that beautiful bean footage. There. Mm-hmm. Might have filled that up a little too high, but people aren't going to complain about getting a little too much wax, right? Nah, they would never do that. Not my peeps. Like getting more wax, man. Nice slow pour. Reminds me of my song, the Pancake Breakfast last week when we were tearing down. I think that was last week. It was Teas and Rom in my song. I need a lover with a slow hand. I need a man with an easy touch. All right. Pause. Look at that. Ooh wee. Mm-hmm. That's gonna look good. You know what? What's interesting is I could have put some coloring in the tea um, type cups there, but I think that off white will make it look like maybe a green tea or something like that, light colored tea. I probably should keep them the same color. I won't put anything in there now, but I am tempted to put a scent in there when it hits temperature. That I am tempted to do, just because those are so specialized there. So I may not be able to help myself on that one. Yeah, I could probably do one of these right here. Let me go ahead and give you a nice pour. I think I got enough. Pour, pour, pour. Mix, mix, mix. Stir, stir, stir. Whoops. All right, a little bit high there. Got my little popsicle sticks. Pull you up. You also don't want to pull too hard. You just want to get it so it's straight up. There we go. Because remember, that is really hot, and you can actually pull the wick off the base, which I've done before, and you don't want to do that, right? Otherwise, what's going to happen is your candle is not going to burn all the way down. What it will do, unfortunately, is in the beginning your candle will burn fine, right? Because it's still anchored by the hard wax underneath. But as you get to that halfway point or that 1/3 point, all of that will become liquefied, and then your candle, your wick is gonna move around, right? Because it doesn't have the hard wax to hold it in place, and you really have no way to stick it back down there. So the only thing you can do is then put the candle on a candle warmer, melt the whole thing, pour it out, clean it, and start over, right? And put another wick in there. So you do want to be careful when you're doing that. It's another reason to really take your time. Slow hand and Tony. Oh, it was Tony's birthday. Okay. Yeah, Tony's birthday was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time uh, for Tony's birthday. Definitely got him good. Great surprise. You know, there's lots of different ways that you can tell people that you love them. So please do that. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us, and we may be thinking, oh, you know what? I want to do this for this person now, or at some point in time, I was just going to wait until this time to say this or do this for this person, and then that day doesn't never makes it for you or the person. So you know, please don't wait. When they say give them their flowers while they're still here, there's a lot that goes into that statement, right? Not just the people that, you know, do great work in the community or leaders or, Tell the people that were significant in your life. Um, and I would say even tell people that uh, may not even play that type of role in your life. Everyone needs to hear it. And in all honesty, I don't think any of us hear it enough to where it's like, you know what? I just get told I love you too many times, and I just, I can't take it. I just don't want to hear it anymore. I don't think anyone is really feeling like that. So let them know you may not see that person again. They may not see you again. And it's always tragic when that's the case. And we can talk about all of the tragedies. Another one now. What is that in? Was that in Tulsa, Rob? Where the guy went into the hospital? Woo, that's hot. Woo, woo. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm awake now. That's hot, boy. Was that Tulsa where the guy went into the hospital and killed another 4 people, then turned the gun on himself? Hospitals, grocery stores, elementary schools. There seems to be no safe haven, no sacred places, churches. You know, at this point, subways, public transit. There is no safe place. There is nothing right now that is sacred. Unfortunately, that is off limits. And none of us spend our wake up that morning expecting that it's going to be our last day, or see how that happens, or the last day that we see a loved one. That is not what's on our mind. We're not thinking that, right? We can't live our life like that's going to be the case for sure. But we do need to, I think, be more in the moment, be more present, be more present. It was Tulsa? Okay. Yeah, we're going to argue. We're going to fight. We're going to disagree. All those things are going to happen because we're living life, and that's just part of what life is, right? But, at the end of it, when I get mad at folks, and I stay mad for a long time, so my madness doesn't wear off quickly. I'm a very where's my wick? Where's my wicks at? I've got a very long fuse, if you will, longer than most. But when my fuse finally gets to the end, my explosions are big, and I stay mad for a while, you know. But eventually, I'm over it, you know.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But man, how I would feel if while I was in my anger and not talking with people um and something happened to that person, and it's like, man, you I can get so far away from a situation that I don't even remember what the issue was, right? Like you're going to have to remind me and give me all the details on why I'm supposed to be so pissed off at you. So much time has passed now. I don't quite remember what it was, right? I know it was something. Now, obviously, there are some big things that and it's fresh in your mind, but other things, it's like it's just not that serious. And unfortunately, we make it that serious, and we never do get to circle back around, and then those folks are gone, uh, and that's too bad. I was blessed in a lot of ways. I was telling you last week that I had got on a plane on a whim in the middle of winter, went to go see my dad, and 6 months later he was dead. You know, uh, And the odd thing about that was that's the same thing, brother. I can't even remember where I went, but I landed at SeaTac, and I don't even know why I ended up talking to my brother because we don't even talk that often. But I'm at SeaTac, and where the hell was I? Oh, I think my mother had passed away. Rod's mother. I think I was down in Mississippi. I think that's what happened. And so I flew back from Mississippi. Somehow my brother had got a hold of me, or I got a hold of him, and he lived in the Kent area, and he was like, "Oh man, you're up there at SeaTac." And so I was like, "Yeah." So we met at 13 Coins, and he was dead 6 months later. I was like, "Wow, man, this is so crazy." You know, and both times had to do with Arkansas. Yep, it was for Rod's mom. A lot of death, all at the same time for me. Lost my dad, lost probably the person I considered a mother for the longest, in Rod's mom, because I met them in the third grade, and then losing my brother. So it was like bam, 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 you know. Uh, and again, I mean, obviously, if someone passes away, that's going to be a planned thing, but you don't plan for, your parents to pass away at the ages that they did. My parents were young, only in their. My dad was it's been like 4 years now, so um, he was 65, 66, somewhere like that. So I mean, that's 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 young, man. That's young. So yeah, that was unexpected. And it's just like, all right, you get on a plane and you're going. And everyone knows I don't go anywhere, right? I have to be forced to go places. And even then, it's still hard for me to go, or something happens and it gets canceled. So it's like, nah, I just keep myself too busy. But yeah, give people their flowers while they're here. Sounds so cliche. Um, but they're not always going to be here. And these are some trying times. I don't want to be a downer. I'm not trying to do that, but it is important, right? Now, take a look at this one here. This has the wax in it. Now, right now, it's nice and clear, right? It almost looks like a sugar water, if you will, or like a maybe like a salt water, like you're gonna gargle, and eventually it's gonna turn more white like this. So I think that's gonna look really nice. The white with the gold, um, and then some of the clear from the glass. I think that's gonna have a nice finish on it. So I'm looking forward to that. And now we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 candles already done. Probably have another 12 to do. I'm gonna have to make some room and let's see, burn some more wax, as that is probably close to empty. Let me see. I got a little bit in there, but yeah, it's time for some more. So, Dance, while you're listening, we do need quite a few brochures for Saturday to let folks know that our art is food. Some of our art is food. And I know tomorrow is our dinner service. I don't know if there will be any time to maybe make some of those fancy signages for the candles to put out there. Since there's going to be food there, we might even be able to sell some of our desserts if Stephanie is so inclined to bag up some of those uh, delicious treats. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Like I said, just nice and relaxing. There's so much stuff to talk about. Eventually, I'll probably talk about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. I think we should definitely have a discussion about that. I was going to talk about housing from the lens of relationships. And I actually was going to do that show yesterday, and I got otherwise engaged, so I could not do that. But we are. If you watch the housing uh, podcast earlier today, and hearing about those that were in the RV park being displaced, and also in the homeless encampments being displaced, what's happening here with the rents in this county, and it's not sustainable for most of us that live here. And while over 500 are on the wait list for eviction assistance, there are even more that need help, uh, that don't know that help is out there or have already exhausted their help and they're going to need some more help. We're dealing with inflation, a recession. Um, Things are going to get worse. They're projecting gas prices to be somewhere around $6 or $7. We see what's going on with COVID here, kind of nationwide, and it's summertime. So, what's going to happen in the fall if you can't go to work or they close down the business or whatever the case may be, right? You need every penny that you can get so you can afford not to be at work. So, that's a scary thought. I don't think they're going to, in an election year, close down the counties at this point. I don't think they're going to, again, suspend evictions. Again, I don't think anyone has an appetite for that. And you are getting squeezed from both sides. So those that can pay their rent, that are slowly being phased out into an unaffordable, untenable situation. So they're downsizing, but there's nothing for them to downsize. And sometimes they're downsizing right into homelessness, right? You have others that are, I mean, you can see all the storage units that are popping up all over the place. And then from the other side, the folks that are, in the street, in the woods, in an RV, they're getting squeezed too. So with everyone being squeezed to the middle, where are they going? So this thing is going to get a lot tougher for us. And again, here in Kitsap County, this is like Beverly Hills compared to some other cities and states across our country. And unfortunately, we don't get along with each other, right? We are in a very individualistic society. Society tells us that we don't need to be in relationship with each other. We don't know how to be in a relationship with each other. We don't know how to uh, have any kind of conflict resolution. We don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to get over things. We don't know how to work together. And so everything is just, hey, you don't like it, get rid of it and do something else. But unfortunately, we have been socialized into a behavior that is destructive uh, and counter to our own mental health and our own just basic needs of shelter and food and safety. So, all of us out here that are trying to do it on our own, uh, we are running through our resources so quickly, they're not being replaced, and nothing is being frozen, halted, or reversed in regards to what it costs to survive. And you may be forced to end up being with someone else, right? Working it out, whether it's a significant other in a romantic way, or you try to do the roommate thing. Uh, but if you don't have those skills because you don't know how to do it, you like your own space, you call your own shots, you don't have to work with anyone, you don't have to negotiate, you don't have to compromise, then yes, you might do it out of necessity, but you're going to have a really rough experience and it's not going to be great. There was a video that I wanted to share, and it feels like I've been saying these things for years. I've been talking like this since 2012. 2012, I've been talking this way and trying to get primarily single mothers, because there's so many more single mothers, to work together and say, hey, if you aren't going to be in a relationship, that's definitely your choice for sure. And you don't just want to expose anyone, to your children. But that also goes with both men and women, right? Whether they're a significant other or not, right? You can get into a housing situation with another single parent, man or woman, and it's a toxic situation, or it's not a safe situation because that person's bringing unsafe people around, whatever the case may be. Um, but when I was having those conversations, back in 2012 and 2013, what I was hearing from folks is, "No, I can't. I got to be by myself. I can't be, I can't do it with no one. I just gotta, I'll just do bad by myself. It's just gonna have to be what it is. I'll figure it out." And they do, they try their best to figure it out. They go with less, unfortunately. I think that translates to their children going with less, right? Because they're not willing to make that change. And when people say that they're working on themselves, it's like, well, what exactly are you doing to work on yourself? What does that entail, right? Taking time off, I don't think is actively working on yourself. And how are you tracking the progress that you're making while you are working on yourself, right? What's different from, the time that you started working on yourself till now? And for a lot of people, whether that's a month, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, and they're like, oh, I'm still working on myself. Oh, I'm still doing this. And we just feel like we've got this infinite amount of time. I'll figure it out when I figure it out. And I've got to come to that realization on my own when I do. And then it's too late. And you hear these horror stories on how folks are now homeless and they can't figure out how to recover from it, right? Because everything has been destroyed. They've used all of their resources, all of their money, and now it's gone, and there's nothing left. And you know, if we talk about how some folks that fall into homelessness don't have mental health issues, don't have drug or alcohol issues, you know, they fall into homelessness based on the ways that society is framed right now, and that's what causes the mental health. That's what causes folks to start self-medicating with alcohol or drugs, right? And then the way that society sees it is, oh well, you got mental health issues, or you're a drug addict, or you're an alcoholic. And it's like, well, no, actually I wasn't. I was productive, stable, and everything was great, but the way society is has now put me into this situation, right? And now it's like, okay, well, now you need to somehow hurry up and get healthy and figure out how you're going to work with someone else when now all this damage is done and set in. And so, again, like I said, I've been really trying to advocate for people to really work on themselves in a way that's measurable, so that they can uh, be in relationship with each other and take these things, uh, take the burden off trying to do this on their own. It really it's too much. It's too much. And I am going to play this video because I am talking about it. Let me find it here. It is really super important. It is super important here. Uh, Honestly, I think I should turn off. So my YouTube, what happens is I'll watch a video and it just will roll to the next video, right? So when I go back to search for a video, I've got like 40 videos. Like, I don't watch any of this stuff. I don't even know why you're pushing this stuff. But then I got to try to dig for what I'm looking for. I'm like 30 YouTube shows in trying to find this thing. Um, I'm like, I don't recognize that. Doesn't have any timestamp on when I may have watched it. It's just pretty crazy. But I'll find it because it was just earlier today. Uh, let's see. And I know that things that I say are not popular and quite counter to what uh, you know society is telling us, right? We don't need help. We're independent. We're strong, and or we need to just figure it out, right? That you're doing something wrong if you can't do it on your own. And so we fall into these traps, and we're there. And they make you act. They actually convince you that that's what you're supposed to do, and you will actually pat yourself on the back for playing life on hard mode. And it's like, why would you pick to play life on hard mode? Why would you pick that? And it's like, well, because I've been indoctrinated. This stuff has been pushed to me for so long that I don't even recognize it, right? I don't even recognize it's happening. And now my value set has changed. There are, and I'm sure all of you know of the stats on, you know, uh, kids that grow up in single parent homes versus two parent homes, right? It's numbers. Because I do what I want. Yeah, but it's to their own detriment, right? It really truly is to their own detriment. And it's unfortunate. And what's really insidious about it is society will tell people that that's how they should do it, but many of the people that are telling that aren't how they're living, right? They go home to their spouses, they go home to their two parent households, they compromise and work through things, but they're telling everyone else, oh, you need to just tough it out. That's your strength because you're independent and you're strong. And it's so sad to watch folks go through that, and then you can't convince them. It's like you tell people that, fried chicken is bad for them and they shouldn't eat fried foods, and they literally attack you. You know, uh, I have seen that in some really harsh ways, and it's like, okay. I mean, there's no denying that fried foods are not good for you, but you are literally attacking me for pointing that out and trying to encourage you to change some of your choices. And it's like, yeah, people will literally fight for their own demise. They will fight for their own demise. And they don't even realize it. They don't even recognize it. Let's see here. I really do have too many videos on here. This is pretty crazy. Hold 1 second, guys. I want to turn this fan off. See that cold air blowing on me? It's making me congested. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. All right. Let's get back in there. I must have passed it. Let me go back down here. All right. Man, there's just so much stuff going on in the news. Man. Flonase. Yeah, well, I have already used it twice today. So, oh, you tricked them with turkey bacon? Hey, I actually didn't trick you. You walked in the house and you smelled bacon and wanted some bacon, and didn't even know it was turkey bacon until I told you, which is fantastic. But that also could be a testament to how hungry you were too. So, it's like I want the bacon. Turkey bacon is a very good choice. And I actually love the taste of turkey bacon. I had some turkey bacon this morning. So I do not, and I myself don't eat fried food very often. So while I love fried pork chops as my favorite meal, right, it is a rarity for me to actually have that. All right, so let me go ahead and pause that. I did find it, which is great. Let me go ahead and change my caption here. Ha ha ha. Here's my copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for permitting by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit educational, such as da 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 da. Okay. All righty. Let's get into this. All right. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. And let me just kind of lead into this. Again, you know, these women here haven't done anything wrong. So I want to be clear on that, right? They're living their lives, they're doing what they have to do. One of the mothers was probably in a relationship and she's maintaining her household. And unfortunately, they sold the house, and this is what she finds herself. This is the situation that she finds herself in. But again, while they may, well, let's get into it. Let me not get ahead of myself here. All right.
Approved a plan that requires landlords to give renters a 60-day notice before a rent increase. This is something we have followed as part of our Price of Paradise series on the high cost of living and what's being done about it. The move is supposed to help renters who are struggling with increasing rent prices. Florida currently third in the country for the number of people experiencing homelessness, and some advocates fear that national estimate is grossly undercounted. Last night we told you about working moms headed into homelessness.
I could tell you that it is grossly underestimated, right? And not just homelessness, but whole insecurity, right? Housing insecurity is probably at an all-time high right now, and folks are literally hanging on. We have people that come into our office that haven't paid their rent in 10 months, 9 months, 6 months, 4 months. And the thing is if they get rental assistance, that's fantastic, but that money is not going to last forever. So what is it that they're going to do when they get on the other side? If they haven't been able to pay for their rent now, how are they all of a sudden going to be able to pay for it after the fact? Those are the things that I think people aren't paying attention to. Let's continue.
You're pricing us out of being able to even afford housing. That's the part that's scary. When a hotel is cheaper than housing, this is a problem. I don't understand, I work. I don't make a whole bunch of money. Maybe on a good week, $2,300 a month, but I can't find nowhere to live is the most confusing part.
Those two mothers are part of an unknown number of working Florida families now experiencing homelessness for the very first time. Rent has increased in Hillsborough County by 30% in less than 2 years. And tonight we meet two more moms who are among
Again, experiencing homelessness for the first time. These aren't, for those that like the stereotype, these aren't people that are on state assistance. These are employed women that are running their households and doing what they have to do. And this is what they're facing. And this is the plight of a lot of people right now.
others reaching out for help during this difficult time. ABC Action News reporter Lydia Vasquez joining us now in the studio. Lydia, this is really a desperate time.
Jameson, that's right. I've reached out to several shelters all across the Bay Area, and the message is the same. They're at full capacity, leaving people with nowhere to turn except maybe their neighbors.
Will you be calm and listen? Because right now you're not doing that. Okay. Thank you. Every day we're a step closer to not having somewhere to go.
Cammie Larkin is a single mom of 3.
Are you coming home in a little bit? I run 2 small businesses. I do woodworking, and then I also am a personal shopper.
And still, she lies awake at night.
She runs 2 businesses. She does woodworking, and she's a personal shopper. Okay, it's not like she's not trying, right? She's working harder than most people are.
Night dreading what she says could soon be her reality.
We're going to be homeless, really. Airbnbs, hotels, if I can afford them.
Larkin tells me just 3 years ago, she was paying $900 for a home. Now, she says it's difficult finding anything under $2,000.
You're charging $2,000 for a home that literally has a health department.
I just got to say, I don't know where she was in Florida, where she was paying $900 3 years ago, but we weren't paying $900 here 3 years ago. You read an article about how rent is up 50% in Spokane area last year. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. There's nowhere to flee to. So they say, oh, well, move here or go there or go there. This is what it is all over. You also need employment, right? You also have to have the money to be able to move and the resources. A lot of factors.
Notice on the front door, but people are getting away with it. They are literally getting away with it because there's so many people, not just moms, that are so desperate to not be on the streets.
It was in desperation that made Larkin reach out to Facebook for help, posting this message to a mom group she belongs to. I'm a single mom of 3, 2 with significant health issues, and was told they are selling the house we live in. Anyone have any advice or ideas? Larkin is among several other
So this is her situation, right? So they sold the home. She's doing everything that she can do. And we've seen this a lot. We've seen this a lot in many of the people that we helped, right? Especially during the pandemic when you couldn't evict, right? Because there was only a few special cases that landlord or homeowner could have someone move out, right? And that was one of those reasons, right? I'm going to sell the home. So now they got to go. And so for whatever reason, these people are selling the home. And again, they have every right to do that, right? So I'm not saying that. But whatever the reason is, it is displacing this family, right? And on top of it, right, you've got 2 special needs children. That's a lot to take on. That's a lot to take on and to juggle all the things that she's doing. So you can only imagine her stress levels. You can only imagine, and I'm not saying that she's engaging in any, substance abuse or alcohol or any kind of coping mechanisms like that. But if she's not, this is kind of that potential gateway for her to find herself in that situation, right? And again, where are the resources? Martitha just contacted me earlier today asking if there were some churches that had some resources because one of her clients had already used rental assistance and has exhausted that, right? Well, the thing is that the churches and other organizations, they haven't recovered. So they don't have the resources to pay for hotels and motels, or when they used to be able to do it for 2 weeks or a month, they could do it for a night or 2, and that's it, right? Those resources just aren't there.
Bay Area moms reaching out for help.
I reached out on Facebook because I knew that I was in a desperate situation.
Wanda Land posted a similar message to the same Facebook group. Hello.
Now, let's be honest here, right? I can't make it and I need some help. I'm not in a relationship with a significant other right now. So, how about this? How about I reach out on Facebook? Maybe there's some other single moms and maybe we can get together, right? But again, the challenge is, doesn't matter whether it's a romantic situation or it's just a roommate situation. We don't know how to work together. We don't know how to exist. So now you're saying, hey, we're going to be in each other's ecosystems. We have different schedules. We have different ways that we run our households. We have different values. And all of a sudden, this is just going to work out. And what I'm saying is, many times, this doesn't, right? And so it is my assertion that we have been so socialized to be on our own. And she may be, very much too busy to date and all those other things. But we will just keep on looking at every other option than to be in relationship with someone to go forward as a unit, right? We will just continue to go down this road. And so this isn't even an option for her, right? When I play the article, and of course they're just kind of talking about this, but she never mentions, hey, you know what? I'm dating this guy, and or I'm intentionally dating for marriage, right? It's, hey, everything is so temporary right now, so we'll just go from one to the next to the next to the next. Um, but this is the situation that I find myself in, so I'll just kind of see if I can move in with another single mother and make that work. Uh, like that is going to be the solution. Again, without work, right? Work has to be done. And I was advocating for this again back in 2012, saying, hey, look, you got two single parents, you're running your households. If you can create rules, you have very similar values, then this could be a viable option uh, where you've got two parents that are in the household, and maybe your strength is in cooking and the other person's strength is, they have a car, or they can help the kids with their schoolwork, or whatever the case may be, would be great. But let's go ahead and jump back in there.
Oh, fellow moms, I just want to know if there's any single moms like me struggling right now and might be looking for a roommate. I definitely can't afford this new rent on my own.
A lot of what does keep me up at night, it's just wondering.
Let me go back because she didn't read the whole thing. Let's see if we can read that whole thing there. I'm struggling right now. I might be looking for a roommate. My lease is due at the end of May, and they're increasing my rent again, another $120. I went from $1,200 to $1,355, and now soon to be $1,475. So I definitely can't afford this new rent on my own. If you're looking for a roommate too and are an animal lover, right? Got to be an animal lover. Two, maybe we can be roomies. I live in the Port Richey, but I'm open to relocating as I work from home. I only have one daughter and she's 14. So, unfortunately, these aren't astronomical rent increases, right? $120 from 1,200. Well, that's a 10% increase, right? I mean, that's a lot. Don't get me wrong. Over the course of a year, that's an extra $1,440. But she doesn't have it. That's breaking the bank. Most people don't have $500 in the bank for any type of emergencies or anything else. And this 1,200 to 1,475 is 275. Let's call it $3. We're talking about a $3,600 jump. Almost $300 more per month, and that is the straw that breaks the camel's back. That's the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? But she held on when it was just increased to 120. But now this is where the situation is, right? This is where the situation is. And if you asked her where she's cutting back, I'm sure she's cut back quite a bit, right? And she's got a 14-year-old daughter, and she probably wants to say yes to as much as the daughter wants to do as she enters into high school and has has that traditional high school experience as much as she can try to help support that, right? But that's tough. And as parents, we want to be able to give our kids, one, the things that we didn't have, give them the life that you didn't have. You want to inoculate them and shield them from some of the hardships that you had to experience. You don't want them to go without. And sometimes that's based in guilt. Sometimes that's just based in, your own experience, like how the way that you grew up. It's like, I'm not going to raise my kids that way, and so you're really hard set on that. And so all these things can be your blind spots that get in the way. And this is where it is, right? So what is the step after this? What happens when this, situation doesn't work out? And again, I'm just making the assumption here that no work has been done on conflict resolution, how to negotiate, how to identify boundaries and values and all those things, right? It's just, man, I need a roommate. So if I got a 4-year-old, if you seem pretty safe and you like dogs, come on, man. And that's unfortunate, right? And then the landlord has to accept that. The landlord has to accept that.
I just want to know if there's any single moms like me struggling right now and might be looking for a roommate. I definitely can't afford this new rent on my own.
a lot of what does keep me up at night, it's just wondering if, what am I going to have to sacrifice at this point to just keep us afloat? Am I going to have a roof over our heads and maybe not eat as we should, or the reverse?
Landon works in customer service for a call center. She says being a single parent has never been harder.
I honestly found myself in a situation thinking that I was going to be sleeping in my car with my daughter. I would cry myself to sleep, and it makes you feel almost impotent that you can't do anything for your own child. You know, you're a parent, and the fact that you can't do anything for your child, it's very disheartening.
And there again is exactly what I'm talking about, right? That desire as a parent, as a mother, to want to give your child everything that the child wants and everything you want the child to have, right? A lot of that is projection, right? We project a lot on what we want our child to have, so we put them in sports, and we put them in a lot of extracurricular activities. We dress them up certain ways, and have blowout parties for them, and ultimately they truly don't care about those things. And when you talk to a lot of adults, when they reflect back on their childhood, those aren't the things that were important to them, right? They're important to you. And unfortunately, those acts are made honestly in a selfish way, right? Because it's what you want for your child, but it's not really what your child needs. And so I hear men and women talk like she talks a lot, right? And it's unfortunate. And now she finds herself here. And again, I'm not saying that the solution is, she just goes and gets a man, everything is going to be fixed. That is not what I'm saying at all. But I do believe that we were created to be together and to be in a relationship together. And we have to find a way to be healthy enough and to get right so that we can be together, right? I mean, that used to be more based on survival, and we have been so I won't say spoiled. We've been so blessed and cursed at the same time, right? It's a double-edged sword to live such a privileged life here in the United States that, again, the way that we have been indoctrinated to, hey, you could just do it by yourself, right? You don't need any help. You don't need any support. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to work with each other. And now folks are finding themselves in this situation, as I would say, single parenthood is its own epidemic, right? Again, the stats bear it out, right? Kids do better and massively, from a massive percentage, if they're in a two-parent household, right? But we are told you don't need that. You don't want that. It's a badge of honor for you to struggle and suffer. And now here we are. This house here looks like it has maybe some roofing issues.
After reaching out to multiple agencies, Landon's Facebook post led her to another single mom looking for a roommate.
I feel like now having a second mom, in my situation is going to be extremely helpful, not just financially, but because we can tackle the kids together.
Right. Misery loves company. And you can see how she's talking. She's talking like someone who is compromising in her mind, right? Well, maybe we could work together. And it's like, if that had been the mentality earlier, right, in relationship, and again, can't always pick what it is that you want. Well, it looks good because it's shiny and sexy. You have to pick what's going to be good for you and your kid, not what makes you feel good all the time. Again, that goes both ways, which is why I not expose Layla to just anyone.
So I feel like even though it's not ideal, I think it's something that I could get accustomed to because I have help.
You see the compromise, right? It's not ideal, but it's something maybe I could become accustomed to, right? I'm trying to hold on. I've been holding on for as long as possible to the point where I'm thinking I'm going to go without food so my daughter can have the high school experience or the kid experience that I want to give her. right? My priorities are out of whack. But now I have no more options, right? I'm on Facebook. Hey man, maybe we can make this work. And you know what? We could raise the kids together and it'll be a big help. And it's like, well, why didn't you do that with the person you made the kid with? Why didn't you do that with the person that you dated after that relationship fizzled out? That intent dating with intention, right? It's heartbreaking because we see what has been happening. You can see the women that are in the in women's shelters, the single parents, their kids are in shelters with them. There is no fast solution in this country that is going to reverse the situation that's going right now. And unfortunately, we have not hit rock bottom. People are not in the street protesting about how they can't live, how they can't work. That's the trick. We're all trying to hang on. So the longer we hang on and the more people fall off the train, right? Well, they can't fight anymore. They're already off the train. But you're so busy trying to hang on so that you don't fall off the train, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And society are telling these women and men, no, at all costs, you can't compromise. Being in relationship with someone who isn't your dream is just not an option for you. The cognitive dissonance here is amazing.
You have help around the house. You have help, rearing the children.
But it's a temporary fix, as both Landon and Larkin tell me. They're in survival mode. How do you feel not knowing where you're going to be in 2 weeks?
Again, temporary fix. So even that is temporary. The look on her face says it all. I'm lost. I'm stuck. I have no answers. I need help. That's it. I can end it here. The look on her face says it all. And it hasn't even gotten bad yet. For most. It's already most people have already gone beyond bad. But it's like relationship just wouldn't even be an option for these folks, unfortunately. And again, the people that would tell them that what I'm saying is wrong typically aren't people that are in this situation. They have the resources, they have the support. If they're single parents, they have support from their parents or friends or family or clergy, their church, their communities. Good night.
Scared, like I'm failing them, obviously. I don't want to get emotional, but I really do feel like I'm failing at times because I just don't feel like we're set up right now for single parents to succeed. Honestly, I really feel like
no, you're not set up to succeed as a single parent. See, that's the trick. That is the great trick, right? That is what they have told these people this entire time. And they believed it. They believed it. I just hope that some people, hear this, see this, and they're like, okay, you're right. I'm going to change. I'm going to do something about this because I don't want to be this, right? I don't want to be in this situation. The helplessness, the misery, right? She's talking to a news outlet that they can't do anything for her. All she can do is tell her story, unfortunately. And I see a child with a man in the back. It could be the dad. Maybe she's a widow, right?
Nobody is hearing us. And I feel like that's why I want to do this, because even if it doesn't help me, if it just helps one person, like any mom, because I know that there's moms that are homeless right now, that have jobs, are busting their butt, but they're still homeless right now.
Larkin is still
And you can tell your story till the cows come home. What can they do about it? What are they going to do about it? Our challenge is here in Kitsap County, there's not enough housing units to house everyone. And even if there were, they're not affordable. So what is the solution, right? And we have gotten to this point, I believe, in this country where, again, we have this expectation. We should just be able to just do it on our own, right? Make enough money that we can pay all our bills and retire and do all these things and live how we want to live. Not Elon Musk level, but we should just be able to do it. And we shouldn't need to have anyone else. That's just not reality. It's a facade.
looking for their single mom to room with or an affordable place to call home.
I've called shelter. I've called women's resource centers. I mean, I've called 211. I've done everything. And this isn't just now, this has been going on for a year. I've been looking actively.
I've reached out to multiple shelters across the Bay Area.
Right. Again, because the resources are tapped out. They're tapped out. That's the challenge. That's the issue. There are no more resources left. Oh, and we just gave, another $40 billion to Ukraine. Charity starts at home.
Like Dawning Family Services, and they're on a wait list.
We're having to help people that.
Right, again, now you got the news. The news is contacting shelters, right? And they're getting the same answer. Hey, we can put you on a wait list. We can put you on a wait list. I mean, maybe the only good thing in Florida, well, I don't know if that's good. I mean, it's 88 degrees, right, at the time of this news broadcast down in Florida. So it's warm. They're not going to freeze at night. But I'm sure it feels very miserable to be homeless in your car, not being able to turn on your air condition in 88-degree heat and humidity. Miserable.
Typically wouldn't have come to us before.
Metropolitan Ministries tells me its shelter is full, but they do have food, clothing, and counseling available.
Reach out to local churches. They have connections. We have connections as well. Everyone talks to each other in the social services agencies. So allow us to be your advocates for you so we can help provide you the services that you and your family need.
And we do that here, right? There's a coalition, like I shared with you, that I presented to last week for housing. You see how folks come on every week. But again, these things are tapped. We have folks that are calling us, individuals, families, other service providers, right? There's just not enough out there. And what is being stretched to the limits.
Now, as of today, the Rope Center in Hudson has several rooms available in its shelter. I reached out to Tampa Jewish Family Services. They tell me it has emergency financial assistance and referrals available along with the food bank. On our website under this story, we have links to other resources out there that may be able to help you on abcactionnews.com.
Thanks, Lydia.
I think the most poignant thing that I can say here is, unfortunately, many mothers, many single parents want their kids to live this life that they project on them so much that when they look up and they find themselves in this situation, What makes it so hard is now the situation is they're in the shelter with their child. And that damn sure isn't the situation that you want your kids to be in. So then when you're looking at it, it's like, okay, would I rather my kid be in a shelter with me, or would I rather them not be able to do those extracurricular activities, not have the nice clothes, not have the PlayStation 5, right? Or and be able to maintain our household. That's what needs to be weighed. And so again, I encourage you to look at these tragic cautionary tales. And if you are in this situation, if you know someone that's in this situation, try to have these conversations and get through to them. We weren't designed to do this on our own, but we do not know how to exist together in relationship. And so maybe, it starts with, obviously, mental health can help, but I think in a lot of ways, they actually tell you the same thing, right? Many of them, right? You could do bad all by yourself. You're independent. You don't need to do that right now. You just need to focus on you. And it's like, well, what does that mean? There's a lot of good resources on the internet that are free for you to access, so you can begin working on yourself. There's lots of good books. Library has free memberships. Start reading on how to communicate, how communication works. What is effective communication? How do you negotiate conflict? How do you work through something? How do you set boundaries? How do you date with intention? We you might even look at it as the food that you eat, right? I would love to eat burgers and pizza or whatever it is that your junk food is. But what's better for me, what's going to sustain me are the vegetables, and you know what I mean? So no, they're not as attractive. They don't just turn me on and jazz me up, or I'm ready to drive 10 miles for a baconator. But man, that salad is really going to do me right. Not only in the immediate, but in the long term. And so no, it doesn't taste like that burger. It doesn't get me excited like that burger does. But this is what I need. And not only do I need it for me, I need it for my family. I hope that's helpful. It is going to take thinking a lot of different situations and solutions to these problems that have no easy, quick answer. I mean, they're just, there may not be one, unfortunately, right? What can be done? What can be done? Oh, let's see here. All right, so we've got our nice kind of white there, as you can see. Some more getting done there. See how that kind of nice white, like I said, with the gold. I think that's a nice look. So purple and the gold could work well. It might hide the gold a little bit, so I kind of like that. And see why I didn't put the labels on the bottom? Because I had some wax there that I need to pull off. So again, that would have dried wet. So I want to get that off. I'll take a lighter, melt it, and wipe it so it's nice and clean before I take care of that. And then this wick here fell into the wax. So that'll burn off once you light it. But I had to make sure that I have the wicks in the middle so it didn't lay over in as it dried up. And now that that's hardened a bit, I can go ahead and put that with the rest of the finished collection, right? The cool thing is too is you got to trim your wick, so that's fine. If you feel like it needs to kind of stay up a little bit longer, you can leave them on there. That's cool too, not a problem. I'll put this over here for now. All right. And if this has been solidified enough, I can now take this, because now it will stick straight up, which is great. And now I can use this for this one. Yeah. All right. Now the other thing is I let this get hard, right? Now I could pour this in there and see if this will melt it. Are you? Oh, you're not even melted yet, are you? Oh no, you're melted. Oh no, that's white. Oh, I turned it off. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so I'm gonna have to let that heat up. I couldn't see it. Now I can see it, you know, from the top. I couldn't see the white there, so just very interesting. I'm going to continue to do this. I've got, let's say I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got about 6 more of those to do. I've got a good another hour and a half of work in front of me to at least get the candles in, and then tomorrow I should be able to get the labels on the bottom, the warning labels, and then maybe the side labels. But again, I told you where we will be this Saturday at 1 p.m. So if you want to come and support, you know, all of the donations go to do this work that we do with the conduit in G2. So we definitely appreciate you. I thank you for hanging out with us today, and we will see you next time. I am Marwan Cameron. This is the conduit. All right, y'all. Have a good Thursday tomorrow. You got it.